ask our panel, and I'd love each of you to introduce who you are and where you're from and stuff, but what we're going to do is we're going to take a couple minutes, 15 minutes right now, and ask some questions. Then we're going to send them away and get a new group of people in, and we'll do that every 15 minutes now for the next hour. So if we could, we'll start with you and just who you are, where you work, and an interesting fact about yourself.
Oh, okay. Name is Mark Miller. I am the Senior Director of Contact Center Solutions globally for J.D. Power and Associates, so we're all about the customer. Interesting fact about myself, I am a competitive pizza eating champion.
Nice.
So I will flat out get my grub on people. So that's where I would leave it right now.
Can I challenge you right now?
No, I just had lunch, but give
excuses.
me, let me get a couple of days notice.
Okay.
I'll get my game stomach on, and then we'll have some fun.
I like that one.
Okay, I'm Kay Phelps. I work for Jabra, headsets and wireless and all of those good things for your contact center agents. And I am the contact center channel manager segment manager for North America. Great to be here. So let's see. You also asked some interesting facts. Well, I've been in the contact center space for 15 years, but that's not particularly unique or interesting because I guess everybody here has. This is a tough one to beat, you know? That is really tough. Some interesting fact. Okay, so I've climbed 12 14ers, and if you don't live in Colorado, you may not know what that means, but that means peaks that are 14,000 feet high. So.
That's much better than eating a lot of pizza.
She eats a lot of pizza when she goes down.
I do, you're right. Yeah. Yes, I do.
Hi, everyone. I'm Charlie Bowman. I'm the Senior Site Leader for Progressive Insurance. We have a campus in Colorado Springs that I manage. Interesting fact, I play the accordion. Not well, but I play the accordion.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, I want to be Weird Al Yankovic if he ever retires.
My name is Lauren Bodell, and I am a customer service representative for UPMC Health Plan in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. An interesting fact about me is I am vice president of the Pink Tie Affair Pittsburgh. We are a local organization that helps women with breast cancer.
Hi, I'm Ian Palmerine, also from UPMC Health Plan. I'm honored to be here with Lauren. And I'm Senior Director of Customer Engagement and Enrollment Services. And a fun fact for me is I travel a lot for baseball and hockey for my boys, and we have a great time.
Awesome. Very cool. Thank you. So I want to get us right. We're going to jump right in. And I am curious to hear from all of you. What are some best practices? What are some things that you're currently doing to drive customer engagement with your organizations?
Well, I think Lauren and I could start if you'd like, Lauren. We're very connected to our customers, and I'll let Lauren tell you about our program.
For the Medicare division, we have a healthcare concierge program where generally, we have a system that each member is dedicated to one representative. So say, for instance, you call in and your healthcare representative is myself. The system will actually route you to that person to make sure that you either talk to that person or someone else on his or her team.
So it routes by caller ID, which is pretty unique. And the system is smart enough to know Lauren's the concierge. And then on top of that, beyond the inbound on our outbound solution, which we do blended environment, Lauren calls all of her members on their birthday. So all of a sudden she gets a screen and it will say, it's time to call Ann, it's her birthday. And then beyond that though, she takes good care of me. She makes sure I have an appointment with my doctor for my physical. She makes sure I'm ready to get my mammogram. She takes care of all of those personal needs that I have.
That's really awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Anybody say, go ahead.
I can go. So I work for Progressive Insurance, so you've probably seen the commercials with Flo, right? And one of the things she says a lot is discounts. So when we're doing a policy review, a lot of times the agents will talk about discounts, and a lot of times the customers will even respond back that, oh yeah, I love that commercial. We can also, we have a lot of our social media. Customers can go out there and they can friend Flo. She has millions of friends on Facebook, and we can also send you an apron and a button so you can even dress like Flo at Halloween or any time like that. So you can be a progressive promoter any day of the year.
I'm going to dress like Flo next year. Just saying.
I
You've
think you look
inspired me.
great.
I think that's awesome. So I don't know about all of you who are sitting right here, but I came to ACE with a lot of burning questions. What are your burning questions that you would love to have answered from these people? If you can't think of them, I'm just going to start making some up. So yeah, absolutely.
So we're hearing a lot about technology, and you especially see it out here. What are y'all doing to make sure that the people skills side of things are keeping up with the emerging technology?
I could go. So we recently purchased a product. I won't give the vendor, but purchased a product that looks at voice analytics, and probably the biggest thing that's allowing us to do is to minimize the amount of hold time, and also minimize transfers to other departments. And we've seen some great impact, not just from those areas, but also in customer quality and first call resolution and many of our other metrics. And we really don't look at handle time. We don't even coach to handle time. We look at other metrics instead. We use handle time more as a forecasting tool, but using this voice analytics tool and reducing the non-interactive time, because you think about whenever you call in, any time that you're placed on hold or somebody's not talking, the confidence in the person you're talking to drops with each 30, 15, 30, 45 seconds. So by reducing that non-interactive time, we've improved our quality and also our first call resolution dramatically.
That was a great question and a really great answer. Are there other thoughts on the panel?
I would just like to add validation to what you're talking about. At JD Power, we have the good fortune of interviewing millions of consumers, almost 1,200 companies. And what our data has shown over the last 2 years is that knowledge has been becoming less important to customers, and concern is becoming more important to customers, even as call complexity has increased. So what we're finding is that might be a little counterintuitive, right? Because now we get a lot more complex calls, multivariate calls, multi-technology, but it's the fact that highly emotional calls are being handled now as a much higher percentage of overall calls than they used to be. Like all of the transactional calls are getting pulled out vis-a-vis IVR self-service and web self-service, right? And so when these complex calls hit, what we're finding is that if customers feel you care about them first, right, and offer courtesy, then the knowledge that you apply will be effective. But if you try to apply knowledge without making that connection, customer satisfaction just plummets, and it really affects loyalty and retention. So compliment you on your observation that in this high-tech world, what's actually happening is because of that high technology, it's actually putting more pressure on those reps to be even more courteous and have higher levels of empathy and concern than really ever before.
That's awesome. Thank you. Great question. Another question from the group. All right. While they think about their next question, I have one for you. So what is the big thing on your plate as you look at the rest of 2013 and into 2014? What's the number one thing that you're paying attention to, whether it's in your contact center or back in your office? What is that one thing that you're looking at that maybe I should be thinking about as well?
Our huge focus right now is looking at repeat callers. And we're looking at them in our system, who's called us more than once, but we even ask them on the after-call satisfaction survey, how many times have they called? And we offer that to everyone. And really from, it's from both angles, both a customer satisfaction to make sure we're taking care of people on the first time. It's also a cost, because every time we have to answer that call again, we're costing ourselves a lot of money. And we're not getting more staff, so we're trying to reduce calls. So that's a huge initiative for us.
Awesome.
And just to add on to what you were saying, one of the things that we are seeing is that people are starting to look at giving their agents mobility by using wireless headsets. And so then if the agent doesn't have the answer they need, they can readily go find either a supervisor or an expert elsewhere in the company who can help them deliver first contact resolution and improve the customer satisfaction.
That's awesome. Any other thoughts on the panel?
I think I would agree with what they're saying. The other thing that we're looking at is simplifying our procedures and trying to make them consistent across the board, because sometimes they look a little hooey. That's a technical term if you want to use it later. Where some of our procedures look one way for one state, and another state they look completely different. So just trying to make it all look the same.
Sure. Awesome.
I would say battling containment syndrome, over-containment syndrome. So a lot of companies see containment as a good thing and desirable thing because it'll pull costs out of your system. But we're emphasizing the right containment, because if we are forcing people like cattle to go through our gates, and we are on paper saving a lot of calls in the short term, the ramifications that we see from a CSAT perspective are far worse in terms of long-term loyalty and advocacy if you put them through that. So there is a cost benefit, but it's not an immediate cost benefit. So it's the discipline of saying, hey, I'm going to be customer focused and I'm going to live and die by it, even though it might cost me some money in the short term.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. One more question. All right. So is there one from the audience? All right, then I do have one more for you. I've talked to a lot of people here who are looking at moving more and more agents from brick and mortar to at home. What advice or what recommendations do you have for people who are looking at taking their agents out of the center and to home?
I can start with that. Okay, so if you have not implemented a home agent program yet, one of the things that you're going to want to do for sure is work with your HR person to develop a profile of who's going to be the ideal candidate. You'll want to have a stringent policy statement. You'll probably want to review that with your legal department just to make sure that you're covering all the aspects and all of the do's and don'ts, and just all the policies in general around the use of that home agent. And then trial the program before you launch it full force.
Awesome.
What about you guys? Anyone doing home agents?
Yeah, we have about 6,000 total agents, 600 of which are at home. And I would agree, make sure that you have all the lead work in place beforehand so that you set the right expectation. And then once you start sending them home, figure out the best way to stay connected, whether you're doing regular, like a chat window with the entire group that's at home, but just stay connected with them on a regular basis so that they still feel like they're part of the full organization, because they can certainly feel like they're isolated out there.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'd agree with everything that you said, and I'll just speak from a challenge that we had, and we didn't have enough technical support, so you really want to get that buy-in from your technical teams to really help you so it can be successful, because we have instances where it's been great, but we have other folks where it's not so good, so I think really getting the buy-in from the people to help you.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, I would like all of you to thank Mark, Kay, Charlie, Lauren, and Ann for their time with us here this morning. We're going to actually end this session. We're going to take about 5 minutes to turn it around, and then we're going to have another group of people here to answer some more of your questions. So thank you.
Thank you.